All right. So we're going to be talking about the Street Fighter, particularly the first film. I'm going to be doing all these, so I'm going to do something a little bit different at the moment. I want to give some kaiju films a rest for a little bit. So I think I called this fighting films. I'm half tempted to just create like a new overall title for a lot of these films where I'm talking about films, because it just seems like I'm just like trying to create extra titles for things and might just have one title for everything. It seems like the best move. So I might do that. I just need to come up with a title. So if anyone's got any ideas, I may already have one by the time this comes out. So who knows? That might change. Yeah, so we're talking about the Street Fighter. There are three films in this series, and then there's the sister Street Fighter, which we're also going to get to, which has like 4 films. It's a whole thing. I've only watched the first 2 so far, but we'll be getting into those. So we start the film basically in a prison, where the main, we have like a guy who's basically on death row, who's getting kind of his last rites, getting like a monk to show up, who's there to give him his last rites, except it's not a monk, it's Takuma, our main character, who kind of puts him into a coma. But they kind of have like a fight type thing. So I guess he's not going to go down without, even though he's there to help him. It's a whole thing. Let's have a fight. He puts him into a coma, basically. So then him and his mate can then intercept the ambulance. Because basically, yeah, there's this weird thing. There's this weird thing of just like, we got to make sure this person's healthy so we can kill them. It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. But yeah. So yeah, he's about to be hanged. He's like, car falls down. So yeah, they basically get his ambulance and kidnap him basically, and then they ship him off to Hong Kong. I should say they do like basically steal, beat up a bunch of officers, like protection officers. It's not like beating up just randos or just ambulance stuff, which would actually I guess be worse. But no, definitely gonna beat up the bunch of criminals. Not a bunch of criminals, a bunch of security guards. I can't speak tonight. What is going on with me? But we realised this was done because the brother and sister of the convicted murderer wanted him free. But we find out they don't have any money to pay. So they kind of get in a fight with Takuma. That goes badly. Because the brother tries to... Well, there's a whole bunch of fighting. But then he just tries to, like, jump kick him. Fortunately, he jump kicks out of a fucking window. Which is not the greatest. And then the sister is just sold into slavery? Our main character in this is not the most redeemable character. Yeah, and we basically get this kind of main character. Our kind of damsel in distress is this woman who's let me pull up the name. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Who's like she's basically the daughter of a rich, sea oil baron, Sarari, who's basically hanging out at a dojo. Our main character is paid to kidnap, but he basically fights a bunch of the rank and file, like a kind of Yakuza game, and then gets into a stalemate with the karate leader. Somehow he's able to get into a stalemate, but also he realizes that this is a kid he's like a war orphan. I think what happens is like an orphan of, I guess, World War II. I think. I mean, it fits age-wise. Yeah, the film is 74, so he's like, feels like, yeah, between like 8 or 10, maybe, the kid. Yeah, I think he's like shot for some reason. Don't quite know why. Yeah, he basically tries to kidnap this daughter, and I guess, no, I'm gonna protect her now. Which is odd, because he doesn't seem the most selfless person. And he's always like, I'm in it for the money. Like, well, you could hire me. I was like, oh, I guess we'll hire this guy was paid to kidnap her, but now we're not going to do that. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of like kind of evil. There's kind of like a whole gang of like evil bosses in this movie. There's a few white guys, like a pimp, a pimp who actually has honor. Later on in the film, an honorable pimp. Well, not really, because kidnaps a woman. Yeah. Not the greatest, but we get introduced to all the other kind of villains. We get like a whole bunch of bosses, like a blind samurai. I forget which, because it's like a fighter who's blind and maybe a drunken bastard, and but basically the character that was saved at the start of the film. Is also joining this crew because he finds out that his brother is dead and like his sister was sold into the sex trade. But somehow he's convinced by the very guy who is pimping out his daughter. Bizarre, utterly bizarre. There's a chase scene. It's like a car chase where we have our two main characters, or Takuma and his lovable sidekick, which I've forgotten. Got his Rakuda. There we go. Have Wikipedia open on there just so I can keep up to date, and I'm kind of skimming through the movie so I can kind of remember the beats in my head. So I'm like, no, this is what happened, because I will forget these things. So I'm just like, if I have this, I can just kinda just recap it in my head. There's a kind of a chase, and then they ultimately get picked up by like a construction vehicle that kind of clamps down and like I think drops them down the side of a bridge, so they kind of fall down, where they end up getting into a fight with some Yakuza. They look like Yakuza. There's what looks like a kind of a classic Mortal Kombat X-Ray. It very much feels like that. Or, well, obviously this is way before that, but maybe it was the inspiration for that. But it's some brutal shit. But don't worry, our main character survived that. To still try and track down this woman. But our main character finds the brother and sister, the sister that sold into the sex trade, and the brother who's going to try and, or the murderer who's going to try and kill them. But don't worry, they get away from that. Wait, sorry, I'm just scrolling through. I'm like, wait, what did happen at that point? I'm just vamping. Oh yeah, he just jumps out the window, I think. Yeah, he jumps out the window to get away. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to remember some of the beats. And just jumps out and goes, bye! You thinks the woman's going to be there, but it's actually not. Yeah, our evil oil baron just goes, yeah, it's like that guy's clearly evil. And yeah, they get kidnapped. The dead oil tycoon's daughter. They basically want her to sign over, yeah, all her property over to the evil people because they're evil. She basically gets trapped. Oh, I should mention. So she gets trapped. Unfortunately, the only black character in this is a black guy who is a rapist. And yeah, so it is definitely implied that he raped the sister of the murderer from like the start of the film, and is about to then rape sorry. But just before that happens, our two characters, well, our main character kind of jumps in to stop that from happening, and basically turns him into a eunuch. And it's very visible that he just grabs and rips, just grabbing and ripping. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it because, you know, it's a rapist. So you're like, well, that's fine. Let's be honest, that's fine. It's fine. But yeah, our main character unfortunately gets caught, and which yeah, he does get caught, and comedy relief comes to save him. He's there to help out friend, which I think does mean that the oil baron's daughter does get kidnapped. Because he shows up rather than running away, which is what he could have done, the comic relief, but no. So they have to basically then go and rescue this woman again. I'm gonna go rescue him. They kind of have a fight over the whole thing, which doesn't end well. Basically our main character and the comedy relief, they kind of have a fight. Doesn't end well. They kind of part ways. Our mate Takuma basically goes in, tries to go in by himself. But then the comic relief, Rakuda, he shows up to help out and ends up dying. But I mean, he does help out. He jumps in on the bike. Yeah, he ends up dying. But not before he helps. Yeah, at least try and take out the blind samurai guy. Now it's just our main character who's gonna fight basically everyone. So think of like a Yakuza game where you do just like go into a place and just fucking wreck shop. That's basically what happens next. Is just yeah, they're on a boat and he just fucks up everyone. Literally everyone gets fucked up. It's just like, nope, we all fight now. We all fight. I will fight everyone. Everyone is here. kid and fight. So yeah, he just wrecked shop against everyone. Quite impressively. But luckily, so I think he just gets captured in the end. But luckily, this pimp has like a code of honor, and he lets the two characters, the condemned murderer, at the start of the film, fight our main character. Because yeah, this pimp has a code of honor, so they go off to fight. Obviously, our main character wins. He rips out the guy's like esophagus here, just fucking rips it out. It's fucking brutal. There's like a white guy who's there, but the pimp with the code of honor just stabs him because I think he's just like, nah, just kill him. He's like, nope, no one interfering with the fight. We can't interfere with the fight. Oh yeah, the sister that shows up. She's like, I will help out. I'll just run a blade through both of you. Which doesn't really work, because she stabs mostly her brother and then a little bit of the Takuma, and it's like, oh, that was not the most helpful plan. I mean, not she doesn't run the blade through, he does, through her and him. But it's her first, so she takes generally most of the blade. And ends up dying. Our main character doesn't. He does the neck rip. And yeah. That's kind of where just the movie ends. With the honourable pimp, the daughter saved. And our main character's just there. And it's like, wait, what? Wait, what? It just kind of ends very abruptly. Yeah. Yeah, no, this it's certainly an interesting one. It does have some very brutal scenes. The fight's generally pretty good. Enjoyed it. It's fun. It's a mad one. It's when you first watch it, because I've watched this one at least twice. So I watched with friends. It's just utterly batshit insane. Yeah, I watched a few times. It is just batshit, utterly crazy. Oh, and I forgot the main character. A lot of times when he's about to fight, but he'll do it like he's like sucking on a bunch of phlegm. Like, wait, what? Anytime he's just, and he does some. So it's played by Sonny Chiba. And he does some funny faces when he's about to fight. Yeah. Overall, this is a really cool movie. It's batshit. It's brutal. But I think it's well as well, and it's just fun to watch. And you just half the time you're just like guessing what the fuck is gonna go on next. I highly recommend it. If you do get a chance to watch it, watch it. I don't know why you'd watch it after me entirely explaining the entire plot, but okay, you do you. Yeah. For now, I'm gonna sign off. I think the next movie is The Return of the Street Fighter. Return of the Street Fighter. Okay. Yep, that's the one. So we'll watch that next time. But for now, I say to you all, live long and prosper.